So, my fellow wet shavers, today, as you might guess, it is a special day. First of all, I'm having a day off, so this video will take a little bit more time. And most important, I'll be testing and comparing side to side two most aggressive open comb razors on the market. Muhle R41 and Fatip Grande open comb with gold plating. So, before I start, I will be using today stay traditional soap, Yaki, I think it is green emerald brush. As you can see, very light loading, because this soap is very nice. It creates a lot of lather, and in previous days I thought that maybe I'm a little bit out of shape for Proraso Red, because on occasions I really made it quite thick, and that caused some minor rinsing issues. As you can see, pretty nice soap, very easy to start generating lather, which is now a little bit dry and pasty, but since I'm having this Yaki brush, it is having small but very soft knot. I think it is marketed as cat whiskers, so I don't want to load too much water in it, otherwise it will be quite messy. So this could also be a good recommendation for all of you, even if you're not founded to these two razors in particular. It's always much easier to add additional water than to dial down how much soap you need to retake. So this is my third day of beard growth, so I guess it will be sufficient for these two open combs. And I think this is now a little bit better consistency. I will leave it on my skin to soak the whiskers a little bit until I load the razors, and I think I will need to re-wet the face a little bit. So, regarding the blades, I tend to try Astras for these razors, but it turns out that they are in my stash, so PermaSharp will have to do this work. Let me just unwrap it. And I will go with R41 first. To be honest, I was quite lazy to replace the razor lock handle, so let me just put it down. I saw in the comments that a lot of people are actually nagging about these end tabs, but actually I like them pretty much, because it is much safer to load the blade into the razor when you can hold the blade on the very ends. Some razors are not sporting this feature, probably for convenience or for the fear of some users that they will cut ears or whatever. So this one came out pretty messy. And for Fatip Grande, I will try to load the blade as I usually would, so without any particular adjusting, just to see how it's going to turn on the first run. Now this is maybe 90% tightened, and as far as I can assess, it's quite fine. So for any blade recommendations in Fatip's, why not the Permasharp? Apparently they aligned quite well, and you saw me, I didn't perform any adjustments, so basically it was all set as expected. So just a little bit of re-wetting and let's go to the shave. On the left side of my face I will use R41 without any particular reason, and I will try to not repeat the same portions of the skin, so I'm just going over the lathered area. So we can check the efficiency. When it comes to rinsing, R41 is a little bit in advantage because of these large blade channels, which you can see, and also it's not clogging that easily. Let me just check the sideburns. I went a little bit too high. Side to side, Fatip feels a little bit lighter, even on stock handle from Muhle. To be honest, I didn't pay attention did I laid the combs first, but so far I almost cannot sense the blade. I would say that cutting is maybe a little bit smoother with this one. The blade is much torqued compared to R41, which has almost horizontal blade. When it comes to rinsing, no issues with open combs. Very nice curvature of the head, as you can see. So when you place Fatip open comb to the skin, it feels very rounded, very comfortable. Going back to Muhle side. On mustache area I do sense that it is maybe like plucking a little bit more, or just having a different attack angle. which is nowhere inconvenient. I think that R41 really prefers a better blade. Because when you use a sharp blade in R41, you almost do not have that sensation of plucking, while some Chinese razors which I used in R41, although they were quite mild and okay for even Fatips, in R41 they were quite plucky. So I will just rinse the razor, remove the residues just to see the smoothness, and I hope you can hear, but this Fatip side is much smoother than R41, and also I would say on the cheeks as well. So definitely these rounds go to Fatip. I have small weeper, not severe, but let's just check the comfort on the second pass. It's not that I really need it, but since we are doing comparisons, let's just check it out for all of you people who will most likely do 2 passes, 3 passes, so maybe this will help me in judgment which razor is the best. When I was comparing Fatips before, I think that Piccolo, due to smaller handle, the short one, didn't maybe sit in my hand and on my skin as I would like. Wicked-Grande or Los Torto, if you want, they are same size and weight. I do sense now that this razor is much better balanced. There was quite of a blade feel on the second pass, but it is BBS. So let's rinse that off and check out the R41 on neck area. I must say that on against the grain pass this was more comfortable. I don't know from what reason, but simply it is. So going a little bit sideways. Now it's grabbing some leftovers from the first pass. And definitely less blade feel. So left side is clear. We can rinse R41 for final verdict, and so far I don't see any nicks. Let's check out the good old Fatip. And definitely it feels very comfortable, you know, it's not too heavy on the skin as Piccolo. Maybe I bought the wrong one on the first run. This is my father's razor. Now he borrowed this just for my comparison video. But somehow on the second pass it feels like I'm getting a more blade feel on Fatip. Not by much, but I definitely sense that in the midway, like, second pass wasn't necessary. A little bit of skin irritation, because I have beard which grows this way, and with open combs I do slice that whiskers, so this is normal thing for me. Do not misjudge this skin particularity of mine when you try to weight these two razors, because this is pretty nice, pretty fine. A little bit more whippers on Fatip's side in here, so definitely for sensitive portions of the skin. Maybe, as you can see here, R41 has less blade feel. It has maybe even less blade chattering. Definitely much smoother on the cheek with Fatip. And definitely smoother on neck as well. So, believe it or not, Fatip won this match. I'm not surprised too much, because I like both of these razors, and Fatip's are, in my opinion, the most beautiful razors which you can get. I will try now my trusty aftershave just to see the burning sensation. Yeah, a little bit in here on the middle, because I did cross passes with both razors. A little bit on this neck area on Fatip, and I would say equally burned on jawline on both sides. So these whippers are obviously not going to stop, so most probably Fatip Grande, as you can see, it has a little bit more blade opening, although the blade is sitting quite flat on the combs and also feels remarkably smooth when you place it on the skin. Obviously, it is not sufficient to avoid these tiny skin damages, so probably, and believe me, I could just stop after the first pass, maybe Fatip open comb is not recommended to be used more than one pass only. However, on R41 side, there is certainly much more comfort. As you can see, there is less blade exposure. Pretty much similar rounded design. I'll try to put them side to side so you can see better. So very similar feel, not some great differences. yeah, maybe just a fraction of a millimeter on Fatip's in terms of blade exposure. Yeah, you see, not a real cut, but just some cracked skin. Nothing on the other side, so whatever you choose, if you are a heavy bearded guy, this tool could be only my recommendation. Which one will you use? The only drawback on Fatip's could be they're using a non-standard thread. It's M, I think 4.5. So you will be just left with stock handles. You cannot mix them with other handles, like you can get razor rocks or whatever for R41 head, so this is a benefit. More comfortable for 2 passes, 3 passes, how much you want to go. For everything else, it's just pure appearance and what you prefer. I must admit I like R41 more with this razor rock handle. It just gives a little bit more weight, but also the golden one, it's beautiful to look at, it's super efficient, I think also dirt cheap, like between 13 to maybe 25 euros depending on how much you want to invest. For that kind of money you will get only R41 head. Overall razor maybe like 30-35 euros depending where you live. So I hope you learned something from this Friday fight between two open comb razors. I hope you enjoyed the video and have a nice weekend up front. So don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.